Okay, that was weird. Apparently, I'm gonna have a two-parter because like I still don't really know how to do that, so I stopped there. Ugh, sorry. So I was trying to pause the video, and it stopped. That's how good am I. That's why I don't do this a lot. But so basically, it's important for people to get to see you, and for other people to also know that you exist. That you see characters, because like bad representation can be actually be really terrible. Like the infamous House MD episode in the last season. They better have something like that. There was that asexual couple, supposedly asexual couple, and then turned out the husband had a brain tumor that suppressed his libido, and the wife just lied about being asexual to be with him, and like that really fucked things up. That for many people, like if that's the only place where you see and you hear about asexuality, really sorry about that. I'm really holding my phone and sometimes my hand doesn't like it. So anyway, I heard a lot of people had like after they came out after that episode, a lot of people, oh, shouldn't you get tested? Maybe you have a brain tumor. Like that fun pathologization. That's still something aces suffer from because the hypers. Ugh. Well, anyway, I'm not quite sure, but I was kind of seeing it. Oh yeah, and I've been kind of watching Big Bang Theory occasionally. Well, basically, I watch it every now and again because, like, I don't know, it's in many ways it's a terrible show, but sometimes it's entertaining, and I don't know, sometimes you just watch stuff. But one of the most awful things about it every time I watch it is there's this low key current of aphobia going on, like always. Like there's one of the right now there's been season 6 is going. They're showing season 6, and one of the later episodes actually like talks about jellyfish or something like that. Like, hey, asexual reproduction. Like, oh, nice, you are constantly writing Sheldon Cooper as asexual, and like having other characters give him a shit for it. But the only time you actually mention the word asexual is when it comes to biology. Like, that's awful, and like that's the kind of thing you still have to deal with. Like, yeah, we are starting to get a little bit of more representation. Some of it's word of God, and some of it actual people getting to say their age, like Jughead in the comics, or like I said, Todd. Oh, and Lord Varys, I guess, gets to say it without saying it, and a lot of times they get to say it without saying it. And it would be nice if more people were allowed to actually say the word. Whatever their orientation is, it would be really nice to get the word, specific word out more. And then yeah, there's sometimes we just get erased. I've been thinking a lot about what adaptations do when there's like a book with an ace character. What do they do? Do they incorporate the aceness? Usually not. If they are arrowed, that part is usually dropped because a lot of representation is still within a romance, because like people don't necessarily feel like, how do you bring up asexuality if you don't if it doesn't have anything to do with sex, like if you don't have to deal with a relationship without a romantic relationship without sex, and how do you incorporate that or something like that, like even though like it can be done, like I don't know, it erasure is a big thing, and erasure is also a thing, and sometimes it's really like one of the sorry again, my hand is starting to hurt. But so anyway, one of the my plans for this video was talking about stuff like, you know, the book Dumpling and its sequel, uh, Dumpling Pudding. There's this side character called Amanda Lombard. If you have seen the movie, you will say, who the hell is that? And that's because she is in the movie. In the second book, she she is actually a physically disabled character, and that's what she was in the first book. And then the second book, it's established that she's a biromantic ace, and she's a fun character. She's really a side character, so there's not that much focus on her in either book. But you know, it would have been really nice if she had been in the book, in the movie, Netflix movie. But she wasn't, and that feels like I watched the movie. I enjoyed it in many ways. I did the mistake of reading the books first, or at least I started reading Pudding before I watched the movie. And because, you know, if you read, for me, if I read the book first, then I just can enjoy the book for the movie for what it is, because I will keep thinking about the changes, and it was especially relevant while I was watching in Dumpling, because I just like, because it, on one hand, it was a good movie. It was an enjoyable movie. There were some issues with it, but I just, most of the time, I kept thinking like it would have been nice to have see Amanda in that movie, even if she wouldn't have been ace yet, because I don't know what the production timetable was. So it's possible that the writers didn't know that when they got Amanda that she's ace, but they still got a disabled character, which kind of undermines some of the issues with it, some of the body positivity message of the movie that was in the books. So like, yeah, in many ways there are still places that people don't actually want to represent us, and that sucks. And that's why it matters, because like both of these are like Riverdale and Dumpling, those are both aimed at teenagers, and it would be really important for teenagers to get to see that, hey, people can be asexual, and that's just one way they can be, that you can be asexual, and that's okay. But because Amanda's not in Dumpling, because Jughead is very straight in Riverdale, even though I haven't watched it, because like, you know, fuck that show. And it sucks. And like, I guess Monkey D. Luffy for One Piece might be good. Like, it's a all ages manga, I think. I don't know. I have read some of the manga, but I started very late, so I don't really know. Is he that well? No, what the age bracket is for that show? But like, you know, Todd BoJack is it's not for, it's for late teens. It's not for little kids, and that's okay. But you know, it still sucks that it's harder for for young aces to run into fiction that they can watch, that they can enjoy, that's targeted at them. I think the Flaherty from Emmerdale might fit, but that, you know, that's a UK soap opera, so I don't know. We need more representation, because it's important for us to get to see ourselves and other people to see that we exist. And anytime I do, and like I have since about for the past 3 years or so, I've been really concentrating on supporting media with Ace, mostly through books, because it seems to be easier to get Ace rep in books than it is in animation or live action. And And like on comics do a decent job. Like I'm thinking 4 ace characters on comics, maybe 5. But oh, I mean besides Jughead, because Jughead is great. But mostly they are, unfortunately they are not really lead characters, and that sucks. But yeah, anyway, back to some positivity, I guess. So anytime I do see, like I said in the first video, in this video, I don't remember. So anyway, I watched BoJack Horseman today, the 6th season, the first half of the 6 seasons, and it was so gratifying every time the Dot's ageness was revealed, and like there's cameos from those extras again, so that's fun. And slight spoiler, there's a new Ace character. There's gonna be a new Ace character, and that was really fun to see. And like I said, I read a lot of books, a lot of Ace books, and anytime I encounter Ace characters, specifically demi characters, that's like, because that's what I am, that's always like really special. And I admit I've cried just like seeing someone say that I'm demisexual, or that she's demisexual or something like that. And just, or even someone like sometimes, like I love Julian Blackthorne from the Dark Artifices series. How do you say that word? So I love him, and I hate that he doesn't get to say the word, but he's still very, very demi through and through, and I love that. And I love reading about people having my experiences, and I love when creators validate that. Like, I want to talk about this. More props. So, Raven the Pirate Princess. It's this really fun comic about, crew of female pirates who are all, diverse through, ethnically, sexuality wise, or like some body type diversity too. And I first started reading it because Jayla Cook, who is a fun Arrow-Ace black teenager, but then I read it, that's the 4th volume. So because the book had to take a year off because of financing issues, because unfortunately people don't read it as much as they should. But the creator, Jeremy Whitley, sorry, so he wrote this lovely letter at the end of volume 4, talking about how important he finds representation, even as a white cis straight male, and how he's done his work, that he appreciates the queer community and he wants to do best to represent that diversity because he finds that important. But then within that letter, he mentions that the women on the ship identify as I think there's one straight character, but there are like lesbians and bisexual women, and there's asexual women. And then when he said that there's also a demisexual women on that crew, and I just literally started crying, because it's like I talked about in the first version, the first video, first part. Being acknowledged can feel so important. Just knowing that other people find your stories worth telling, that people like you, that other people, people think that your story, how you feel about things, how you experience attraction, stuff like that, that it's a story worth telling and representing, and that's just really important. And I'm currently reading this book, The Begative, by Claudie Arsenault. Sorry, my bad French. And like when I started realizing that one of the main characters on that one is demisexual, it was like, oh my god, she is. That's so great, because I didn't actually buy that book for that purpose. And then when later she like talks openly about her demisexuality with her sister, and she says that she's demisexual and how that affects her dating life, and like it just, I cried. I'm a real crier. But it just representation is important because it makes me, because it's there's still not enough, because there's so few that every one of them still feels important. Like we are kind of past most of the first aspects of it, but like it's still like there's more to representation than someone being the first whatever, and like it's important to have more, because we deserve to have more. We deserve to have diverse experiences. Like unfortunately, like as you can see from there, three of those characters are white men. uh, Maya, I think, I'm assuming she's also white, although who knows, maybe not. And like Monkey D. Luffy, I assume he's Japanese because he's an anime character. And like unfortunately, I don't have Rafael Santiago. I don't know if he has a pop. Like, it's still there's still not enough diversity, although that's happening more and more these days. And I don't know. It's just important. It's important for us to get to see ourselves on screen, on books and on comics and stuff like that, to know that our stories are worth telling. And it's important to show that we have many stories that are worth telling, that there are different stories, that my experience as a demisexual Finn is very different than someone else's story, and all those deserve to be told. So yeah, this is very rambly, and both of these videos are kind of long, so, but I had fun making this. I didn't start crying, completely crying like I did when I was practicing some aspects of this, but so yeah, representation is important, and I love contributing it any little way I can, mostly through fanfic, because like I don't have the creativity to do my own stuff. But so like again, if you don't have canon representation, homemade is fine. Let's end with that. Bye.